Agboato, long life, Kaba, welcome, Alduplay, Oriegun. We thank the ancestors for the blessing of their wisdom. This is part two of a series on the exploration of the liturgical language used in Oriki Ela. Oriki Ela, the word Elah means, from the legion E Allah, meaning the light. The spirit of Elah was the spirit that spoke through the prophet Arumila. Arumila from the legion Orumi Allah, meaning heaven is my light. So we have the use of the word Allah in the word Orumila, and the use of the word. I'm going to continue on with line 2. Awadio yigi yigi akio kuwa. So we ourselves become manifestations. Awa meaning we're coming to earth, the incarnation. The a reference to being born from Oyigi Yigi, which is the point of origin of creation. The singularity, as it's known in Western science, the singularity is a newer reference to the idea of black holes. Oyigi Yigi, as it's explained in Ifa cosmology, is not a single event as it is in Western astrophysics. Just like individuals, universes are created by Odu, and they're born of different Odu. So one creation event for a particular region of space is different than the next one over, and so on. So it gives a great diversity within the cosmos, and the point of connection between different realms of what Ifa calls Orun is the portal of Odu. I've heard elders speak of at least 10 different levels of creation. I would argue there's probably a lot more. But the point is the notion that what we see and experience and know to be the laws of physics is not true and does not hold true throughout the universe. All right. So we ourselves become manifestations. So human evolution is merely a extension of cosmic evolution, and it's all part of one continuous chain of events. Akio Kuwa, the stone that births the spirit of manifestation, will never die. So Yigi Yigi, the eternal source of the creation of the universe and the place from which all humanity emerges, is described here as an eternal concept, one that has no beginning, no end. Akio Kuwa literally means I praise the death that comes. So Oku is born of Oyeku, which means understanding death. So this is a coded reference to the fact that understanding death means you understand that death is a state of transition, not a permanent state of being. All right. So now we're going to move on to line 3. Elaro, Akio Kumo, Okiribiti, Elaro, Shokale, Orunko Ifa. So the words Elaro literally means the spirit of light as a request for possession or altered states of consciousness. So there is a belief in certain lineages of our faith that Ifa priests don't go into possession. This Oriki, which is from the Holy Odu Ogundo Sa, clearly says, Ela, possess me, Ela Ro. That's what that means. Ela Ro, Akio Kumo. So we praise your ability to understand death. Akiri Biti. We praise your spirit of rebirth, or the ability to continually manifest. So when Ela Ro is spoken by the person who's leading the Oriki, the response is Shokale. So Ela Ro Shokale. Shokale means bring your power to the earth. Orunko Ifa. This is the name we give destiny. So we give destiny the name Ela Ro Shokale, meaning the spirit of Ela descends, bringing its power to earth. And it's in that process that we not only understand our destiny, but destiny itself then becomes manifest. All right. So line number 4. And titig ba nila wonshe abo ila fumi. He is the one who saved us. We have made sacrifice to the spirit of manifestation. So that sentence maybe more literally translates as the spirit that brings light. Ela is, it's a little difficult in your own language because there's no personal pronouns. So describing Ela here is he is not good. Forces are expansive and feminine spiritual forces are contractive. That's not literally man and woman, but symbolically contraction and expansion. It's a male and female are pronouns used to describe the manifestation of physical properties that exist and reoccur throughout nature. Wanshe abo ela funmi. So he is the one who saved us. We have made sacrifice to the spirit of manifestation. Sacrifice is, I would say, an incorrect translation of the word abo. Abo means offering. Abo means offering specifically for the elevation of consciousness. I would argue that Abo is a synonym for the alchemical process of elevation and expansion of consciousness. So it's saying our salvation comes through making an offering to the spirit of light. All right. So the spirit of light, very specifically, is what Nicholas Tesla called a longitudinal light beam, meaning a beam with no frequency. The beam is projected into a vacuum. The vacuum, according to Tesla and some Western scientists, passes through the medium of the ether. Ether is unorganized subatomic particles. In Ifa, the phenomena Tesla is describing as the ether is called doo-doo, meaning the creating darkness, creating the really the boundaries in which reality becomes manifest. So these are all deeply metaphysical concepts expressed here really quickly with a few simple words, I think. Line number 5, Kotina Kotoro, he is of no substance. He is too small to be thought of. So longitudinal beams of light are the basis for the modern quantum physics concept of quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is like a thread that connects all things in creation. It's a thread that connects all forms of consciousness, everything from subatomic particles to stars and solar systems and galaxies and even universes, I would say, are interlinked and interconnected through an invisible thread. In Ifa, this invisible thread is called Irumale, meaning beard of the house of light. The Irumale are the thread, and quantum physics calls that string theory, or the strings that connect all things. Those strings are invisible to the human eye, plain and simple. So the concept of Ela, as it's described here, is not a beam of light that we can see. It's not the light like it comes out of a flashlight battery, but it's the primal and really infinitesimally small manifestation of a straight beam of light that carries the holographic pattern for all of creation. Uh, that holographic pattern for all of creation is called Odu in Ifa, and it becomes manifest in physical form initially in the form of the 16 Meiji Odus, and then after that becomes manifest as the interaction between those Odus. What could be described symbolically as the copulation of those Odus as a result of the invocation of the 16 Meiji Odus plus Oshitura causes the 16 Odus to morph into the 250 Omo Odu, giving a total of 256 Odu. And if you follow the logic of that sequence in order of seniority, that makes Oshitura 17th Odu. All right. So let's do one more line. Beni on Ela Nigba Ni La Ni Fe Oba Mola. He delivered the mortals from all trouble. The chief for whom to know is to be saved. All right. So that's making the point that Ifat teaches every problem has a solution. The solution comes by identifying the problem in terms of its structural dynamics. This is done by identifying the Odu that gives birth to the problem. An Odu is a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional energy pattern. That energy pattern is called a Merkaba. Every time you ask a question, what is the problem? The energy pattern or the Merkaba represented by the Odu can be fixed with its opposite. So Ifa is saying that light is our salvation because every problem and its solution presents itself to us at the same time with a complete understanding of the nature of the problem and the nature of the solution to the problem, the solution being stasis or returning in a particular situation to a position of balance. This is symbolized in Ifa ritual by the admonition to have all ceremonies be reflective of gender equity or the equal participation of men and women. Sometimes that participation takes different forms, but participation is always equal as a symbolic representation of the fundamental structure of reality. So to have a patriarchal spin on Ifa is to do a ritual that contradicts our understanding of the fundamental nature of reality. And when we act in contradiction to reality, our efforts are doomed to failure, I would believe. If you look at the word Iwapele, the word Iwapele means I come to greet the earth. In traditional Yoruba culture, we greet the earth in order to, we greet our elders to learn from them, usually through role modeling and guidance. So if we say we come to greet the earth, we're saying that our purpose as human beings is to greet the earth, meaning to live in alignment with the earth, meaning to learn the lessons the earth has to teach us. And one of those lessons has to do with how we get along with other people. And so that becomes the foundation for the Ifa understanding of good character based on the fundamental principles of make no judgment, take nothing personally, make no assumptions, assume everybody's doing the best they can, speak with integrity, and no gossip. All right, so the purpose of those simple rules is so that we can move in the world in a place where our head and heart is in alignment. When our head and heart is in alignment, we have the possibility of seeing the world as it is. And when we see the world as it is, we're able to fix problems by clearly identifying the source of those problems. If other people or a need to control other people or a need to be sexual predators, anytime any of those factors comes to play, you obviously have the person that's using those influences has no ability to identify the problem clearly, let alone identify anything that even remotely resembles the solution. To be an effective diviner, you have to be absolutely and completely emotionally neutral, with no attachment to the issue of the problem, which is why we do daily divination to kind of give us guidance for the day. But when it comes to big issues, we should consider going to an elder for guidance, because an elder would have more objectivity than we do. There's a saying in Nephi: if you divine for yourself, you have a fool for a client. That's something to consider around major health issues, maybe change of career, preparation for building a family, and things along those lines. Certainly, for a naming ceremony and various puberty rites, we want to consult elders and bring the whole community together to make sure that we're efficacious in our efforts. All right, so that's going to be a lesson for today. I thank everybody for joining me. I really believe that the more we understand the words we're speaking in the invocation process, the more effective our invocations become. Everybody stay safe. Know that you're loved and appreciated. Ire Asheto.